What if the greatest mistake of your life became the beginning of your greatest redemption? Imagine walking away from everything. Imagine trading love for freedom, wisdom for pleasure, and home for a distant dream. For a while, it feels exciting. The money flows. The parties never end. The world applauds your choices. But what happens when the money disappears? When the dream becomes a nightmare? This is the story of a son who lost everything, and a father who never stopped waiting. The story of the prodigal son. Long ago, Jesus told a powerful parable, a story about a wealthy man and his two sons. They lived on a prosperous estate, surrounded by fertile fields, vineyards, and servants who faithfully worked the land. The father was respected throughout the region. He was known not only for his wealth, but for his kindness, wisdom, and generosity. His two sons could not have been more different. The older son was diligent and responsible. Every morning he worked beside the servants. Every evening he helped oversee the affairs of the estate. He was dependable, predictable, faithful. The younger son, however, was different. He often stared beyond the hills that surrounded their home. He dreamed of distant cities, of adventure, of freedom, of a life beyond his father's rules. Day after day, those dreams grew stronger, until one day, they became impossible to ignore. One morning, the younger son approached his father. His heart was already made up. What he was about to ask would shock everyone. In that culture, inheritance was normally received only after a father's death. Yet the young man stood before his living father and said, "Father, give me the portion of property that belongs to me." The request carried a painful message. It was as if he were saying, "I want your wealth, but I do not want you." The servants fell silent. The older brother watched in disbelief. Yet the father did something unexpected. He divided his estate between both sons. No argument, no threats, no punishment. He simply let his son choose his own path, a decision that would soon break his heart. A few days later, the younger son gathered everything he owned, his inheritance, his belongings, his dreams. Then he left. The gates of his father's estate closed behind him. Ahead lay a distant country filled with excitement and opportunity. At first, everything seemed wonderful. The young man spent freely. He purchased fine clothes, expensive food, luxurious accommodations. Everywhere he went, people welcomed him. Friends surrounded him. Music filled the nights. Laughter echoed through crowded halls. For the first time in his life, he felt completely free. Or so he thought. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. The money began to disappear, but the young man refused to change. He continued spending recklessly, living without restraint, ignoring every warning sign. Until one day, everything was gone. Every coin, every possession, every comfort. Then disaster struck. A severe famine swept through the land. Food became scarce. Jobs disappeared. Hunger spread across the country. The young man who once lived like royalty now struggled to survive. His so-called friends vanished. No one offered help. No one opened their doors. For the first time, he was completely alone. Desperate for survival, he found work with a local citizen. The job was humiliating. He was sent into the fields to feed pigs. For a Jewish man, few things could have felt more degrading. Day after day, he stood among the animals. Dirty, hungry, broken. The pigs ate better than he did. Sometimes he stared at the pods they consumed and wished he could eat them himself. But even that was denied to him. The boy who once possessed an inheritance now had nothing. Nothing except regret. Then came the moment that changed everything. Scripture says, he came to himself. For the first time in a long while, he saw reality clearly. He remembered home. He remembered his father. He remembered the servants who had food to spare. And he realized how far he had fallen. tears filled his eyes. How many of my father's servants have bread enough and to spare? And here I am, dying of hunger. Then he made a decision, the most important decision of his life. I will arise and go to my father. I will tell him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. He expected rejection. He expected shame. But he decided to return anyway. Meanwhile, back at home, the father never forgot his son. Every day he looked down the road. Every evening he hoped. Every sunrise brought another chance that his son might return. Then one day, it happened. Far in the distance, a lonely figure appeared. Thin, dirty, worn down by life. Others saw a beggar. The father saw his son. Without hesitation, he ran, ignoring dignity, ignoring tradition, ignoring what others might think. He ran toward the boy. The son prepared his speech, his apology, his confession. But before he could finish speaking, the father embraced him. Tightly, completely, unconditionally. Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father interrupted him, not with judgment, not with condemnation, with love. The father called to his servants, Bring the best robe. The robe represented honor. Put a ring on his hand. The ring restored his authority as a son. Put sandals on his feet. Servants often went barefoot. Sons wore sandals. The father was making a statement. This was not a servant returning. This was family coming home. Then came the final command. Bring the fattened calf. Let us celebrate. Music filled the estate. Servants prepared a feast. The household erupted with joy, and the father declared, This my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost, and now he is found. The celebration began, but not everyone was happy. The older brother returned from the fields. As he approached the house, he heard music and dancing. Confused, he asked a servant what was happening. When he learned that his younger brother had returned, anger filled his heart. Years of faithful service, years of obedience, and now this? He refused to enter the celebration. The father came outside and pleaded with him. The older son poured out his frustration. I have served you all these years, yet you never celebrated me like this. The father listened patiently. Then he answered, Son, you are always with me. Everything I have is yours. But we must celebrate. Your brother was dead and is alive again. He was lost, and now he is found. The prodigal son is not merely a story about one family. It is a story about all of us. Some of us are like the younger son, running from God, searching for fulfillment in distant places. Others are like the older brother, physically close, yet struggling with pride and resentment. But the hero of the story is the father, a father who waits, a father who forgives, a father who runs toward broken people, a father whose love is greater than our failures. And that is why Jesus told this parable. Because no matter how far someone has wandered, there is always a road home. And in heaven, there is joy over even one sinner who repents.